Let's head down to the Florida swamps for some seduction, sex, betrayal, and of course, murder. Let's get into it. Welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to head off to the Florida Everglades. But before we take that trip, do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe. Join me here, great would appreciate that. Today we're going to talk about 1998's Wild Things. Yes, this film came out March 20th of 1998. I actually got to see this opening weekend in Lehighton, Pennsylvania. And I went with the girl I was dating at the time. This movie is rated R, although I watched the unrated cut on that Blu-ray right there. Hour and 48 minutes long, the theatrical cut is. It had a budget of $20 million. Upon release, it made 30 in America and about 68 worldwide. And this film was directed by John McNaughton. He is most famous for Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, starring the great Michael Rooker and Tom Towles. And I remember the hype around this film. I remember seeing the trailer for it, and me being 19 years old at the time, 18, 19 years old at the time. I was excited about seeing this for obvious reasons, which we will get into. In this film, we got Matt Dillon playing Sam Lombardo. He works for the school district as a guidance counselor. We got Kevin Bacon as Ray Duquette. He is a police officer in this suburb of Miami called Blue Bay, Florida. Nev Campbell plays Susie Toller, and she's kind of this white trash, lives in a trailer in the swamp chick that's kind of looked down upon by some of the uppity people in town. Then we got Denise Richards in this film as Kelly Van Ryan, and she's the daughter of this woman who is a widower. Her husband killed himself, but they have a lot of money, and she is a seductress in this film. We'll get into that. Robert Wagner plays Tom Baxter. He is the Van Ryan attorney in this film. And we got the great Bill Murray as Ken. And he is this kind of seedy lawyer who Sam goes to. And we'll get into that in a moment. And this film was sold as an erotic thriller. And that it certainly is. But there's a lot of twists and turns in this film. So we have this little suburb of Miami where a lot of rich people live. And Sam Lombardo is the guidance counselor at this school. And right at the beginning of this film, he brings in Kevin Bacon's police officer and his partner, this woman who's his partner, to talk about sex crimes. And right after this, we could see Denise Richards is set up right from the beginning as kind of like this hot to trot senior in high school who has the eye for Mr. Lombardo. And pretty soon, she goes to his house with a friend of hers to wash his Jeep, as part of this benefit that they're raising money for, this cause. And soon after that, we see her leaving the house with her short torn, and she's kind of crying, and she tells her mother that Sam Lombardo raped her. Sam Lombardo's been all over Blue Bay. Everybody knows about him. He's kind of like a ladies' man. But people think he's a really nice guy as well. He's a respected educator. He even has an award as being a top educator in the state of Florida. But soon he gets arrested, taken to trial for raping Kelly Van Ryan. And he hires Bill Murray to defend him. And Bill Murray only gets 20 minutes of screen time in this film, but he is awesome in this film. Everybody's really great in this film, but Bill Murray makes everything better, and he is phenomenal in this film. His performance in that 20 minutes is just so great. It's hilarious, and he's just fabulous here as this kind of scumbag lawyer who finally sees his opportunity to make a name for himself and make a lot of money off of this case because he knows who the Van Ryans are. And pretty much we find out Sam leaves his job. They prove in court because Susie also accuses Sam of rape. So basically her and Kelly are going after Sam about these vile accusations. And Susie cracks on the witness stand and she says that it's all made up, that Kelly came to her with this scheme to try to get back at Sam Lombardo because he would not give in to her seductions or her trying to come on to him. And this was a way to get revenge on him. And so pretty much Sam gets off, and then he sues the Van Ryans for a large sum of money. And pretty soon we find out that Sam is not the nice guy that we thought he was. He's a sleazeball. He has been having sex with Kelly and Susie. They've been having a threesome of sorts. And her plan was, and Kelly's in on this because she wants to get back at her mother because she blames her mother for her dad's suicide. So they plan splitting the money and getting out of town. Well, pretty soon, Susie gets killed, and then Kelly gets killed by Ray Duquette, the police officer, because we find out that Ray and Sam are in on this together. They killed off the girls to split the money and go off and live in paradise the rest of their lives. And Sam kills Ray out on his yacht, out on his boat that he had bought. And pretty soon we find out that Susie's not dead. Susie's alive. And here we find out Susie kills Sam. And as the credits roll, we actually find out that Susie was the brains behind this operation. Susie is a very intelligent person. Although throughout the whole film, everybody looks down on her, says she's an idiot. You know, they don't really give her much credit for anything. But here we find out that she's really smart, and she's connected to the Van Ryans, that she's like a long lost kind of relative because the father had an affair. They get into that more in the unrated cut, which is a little bit longer than the theatrical cut. The theatrical cut, they kind of don't go into that as much, but in the unrated cut, they do. And we see, like, through these scenes after while the credits are rolling, like, she was the brains behind the whole operation. Sam wasn't, where we thought he was. We even see scenes where Sam's unsure of himself, and Susie has to, push him to keep going and keep going. And here at the end, Ken, Bill Murray's character, gives Susie a bag full of money, and he tells her to behave herself, and that's the end of Wild Things. What to like about this one? Well, I think the acting is really well done here. I think Matt Dillon's great. Kevin Bacon's always solid. Neve Campbell's great. She was coming off of Scream 1 and Scream 2 at the time. She was still on Party of Five, which is going to come into something we're going to talk about in a second. Denise Richards is good here as the seductress of the school. And even though she was in her later 20s in this film, they do a good job in being in the film to make her look like she doesn't necessarily look like she's in high school, but at least college-age girl. And she's actually really good here as a seductress. I got to give her credit. She's really good here. She was coming off of Starship Troopers at the time. Everybody else is great. Bill Murray obviously is the standout here. I love everybody here, but Bill Murray always is the standout whenever movie he's in, and here's no different. I love the plot. I love the twists and the turns. And obviously my 19-year-old self, when I saw this, was because they played it up in the trailer. Neve Campbell and Denise Richards making out in a pool. And we do get those things. But that's not the main reason for what's going on. It's the thriller aspect, the seduction, the sex, and we do get that stuff. Is there any drawbacks? I think it's really well shot by John McNaughton. He does a really nice job with this film. It looks beautiful. He definitely takes advantage of the landscape of the Florida Everglades and this oceanside community. It really looks fantastic, and it's well lit. I think it's a well-conducted story. It's a very solid thriller. Is it perfect? No, but all my complaints are minor with this. This is actually, this was sold on the sex aspect of it, but this movie actually is a really freaking good thriller, and it doesn't get enough credit for it. I know there's Brandon, if you're watching this, Brandon loves this film, and there's a great 4K out by Arrow Video. I have that Blu-ray, and the transfer is pretty damn good, but Brandon has told me that 4K from Arrow is kick-ass. So if you're interested in this film, you can get that Blu-ray or you can get that Arrow 4K. Either way, you can't go wrong. If you've never seen this film, I highly recommend it. If you have seen it and you enjoy it, pick it up and give it a rewatch. I think you're going to really like what you see. Neve Campbell does not get naked in this film. We see her making out with Denise Richards and all that stuff, but she never gets naked. And doing a little research, it says she was under contract with Party of Five still at the time. And in her contract was that she could not appear nude in any other projects, either in film or on TV. That's why she didn't get naked. Denise Richards was willing to get naked for this film, and she does you see her breasts and all that stuff. Kevin Bacon was actually a producer on this film. Other than that, I don't have anything else on this film. This is a very solid late 90s thriller. I'm actually going to do a few more 90s thrillers. I'm going to do Hannah Rocks the Cradle, The Fan with Wesley Snipes, and maybe Pacific Heights. We'll see. I just love 90s thrillers. I miss those kind of movies. We don't get enough of them now. But this is a really solid 90s thriller with a great cast and a director that's doing really good work here. And at the end of the day, I would give this one an 8.5 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10 for Wild Things. What are your thoughts on this film? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Share this video. I greatly would appreciate that. I'll be back soon with some more reviews. But until next time, bye.